Movie Obscura with Adrian and Kelly. I am Adrian.
Hey, and I'm Kelly.
And this week we are reviewing for the very first time ever in Movie Obscura history a documentary.
Oh, I love documentaries, though.
This one is called Welcome to Leith, which is about a small community in North Dakota.
Which is kind of why you wanted to do it, because when I fired you from Movie Obscura, you decided to pack up the family and head to North Dakota.
Went to Bismarck, North Dakota, and that is about, and Leith, North Dakota is 70 miles west of Bismarck. And documentary was about Craig Cobb, who was a notorious white supremacist.
Right. I think he'd been kicked out of Canada. He was wanted somewhere down south. I mean, this guy was a pretty prominent face in the white supremacists.
And he was trying to get a hold of Leith, North Dakota to bring in a white supremacist community.
Right. He wanted to create a community of nothing but.
The only problem is the community did not want Craig Cobb here because of his actions. And this is the documentary, and it kind of brings in what the community did to take Craig Cobb out. Now,
using legal ways to get it instead of doing what he was trying to do by using fear tactics and terrorist maneuvers to get the population of this town of Leith was what, about 25?
25, yes.
25 people. So it was a small
town. It had one bar. That was the only business that was going on in Leith.
Right.
Most of the people in Leith were either working in the oil fields, which is west of Leith, or in other areas around that community. And Leith had Craig Cobb had bought land on Leith that was, at the time, he paid $500.
And then at one point he said it's worth $3,300.
Which is accurate because of the oil boom. Everything went up during the oil boom. So that is accurate, and he started bringing people in, and the community wanted him out, and that was the gist of it, the gist of this documentary. And we see that the town people rallied around. You'd see Craig in the city councils just running amok, causing a huge circus-like
walking around
scenes.
with his Apple laptop,
and
filming it with
yes.
his laptop and walking around and just saying off the wall just dumb shit to these people. Just trying to antagonize them.
And in one particular point, he stared insulting the father who had lost his daughter,
right,
17-year-old daughter, in a it was nothing to do with what he did.
But it was still a murder.
It was a murder, and he started criticizing the father on that and started bringing that up.
Right.
And the not only did the town people rally around. Not only did they rally around, but people in Bismarck, people on the reservations, everywhere in North Dakota.
A lot of surrounding communities were backing these folks, trying to help them get their town back.
Because Craig had put all these white supremacist flags in his home,
in his yard.
I
think on the building next to him that he gave to the NSM, the National Socialist Movement. Because he had given them a plot of land right next to his home.
Yes.
Mention also the fact that he had no running water in any of the buildings or domiciles that he owned.
Right.
And that's one tactic that these people try to use to get him out.
Because a city council said that you must have running water and sewer water in your homes. He did not have that. He was still using outhouses.
Yeah, they passed a bill.
Right. The city council bill passed it, and that was one way. And we don't know who did this. The documentary did not explain who did this, but there was an associate of Craig Cobb's who came in with his wife and 2 kids.
Oh, the Gomer-looking
pile dude. And they didn't say who did it. Now, I'm guessing it was people on the reservations that vandalized the cars, saying "Go home," and they spray painted the car. They put
Dick on
the red car,
yeah.
flattened all their tires.
Yeah.
And because the people on the reservation also did not want this guy, and obviously because they were against Native Americans.
Right.
So they wanted all of them out of there. So
you ain't white, you ain't right.
there you go. That was that's one of their mottos. So
that's not a movie obscura motto at all.
No. So long story short, because of the vandalism, Craig started taking matters into his own hands, walking his compound area.
Basically, what he wanted to, build up was a compound.
And he was walking around his area that he purchased with Gomer with semi-automatic
weapons.
And Gomer's
big wife following behind with a cell phone, videotaping every single thing.
And here's the thing on the documentary: they said, "Let them shoot first, then we'll shoot."
Yeah, and then Gomer's like, well, I'll let them get off one. Well, we'll let them get 2 or 3. They're probably not a good shot.
They have no idea.
This Cobb guy,
this Cobb guy has no idea that North Dakota people, they are packed to the gills. They are armed to the teeth.
They're what, Scandinavian and Norwegian
Yeah,
backgrounds.
mostly that. They're good shots.
They're big, hardy people.
They're good
people
shots.
I wouldn't want to mess with.
No, and especially people on the reservations.
Right.
There is a reason why those people, the people are not allowed to go in there. It's martial law, in those areas. And if Craig Cobb thinks he was going to get those guys out, he's got another thing coming.
Right.
But
now, this documentary, I like the fact that it didn't just take a peek at one side. The town and Cobb were all right with letting these documentarians, go onto both sides, basically. Mm-hmm. I mean, they had shots of just Cobb and Gomer's big wife, and shots of all the citizens of Lee, so they were able to get full access. So you got a really good taste of both sides. These people that were just had it with this guy coming in, trying to push them out, take over their town.
Right.
And
that's what he's trying to do. He was trying to take out everybody and build a white supremacist community in North Dakota. That was his goal.
That was his goal. He brought in the National Socialist Movement. I can't remember the guy's name, but they brought in him. And, I mean, Cobb had full backing by him, and I guess that's a larger movement.
And the thing is, they had, the white... The National Socialist Movement was all backing up Cobb, and Cobb had donated.
Oh, that's right.
Land for these guys so they can build.
Gave them a deed to a plot or 2 of land that they owned.
And when Cobb and Gomer Pyle actually went out and walked the grounds with semi-automatic weapons. The police showed up, said you can't do this. Well, they're not. Well, it's loaded, but it's not in the chamber. You still
it's
can't
loaded, not chambered.
Right, yeah.
So what? They ended up going back to the house. Next scene, we don't know how long it was, but they ended up getting arrested for
terrorism.
What terrorism, basically?
7 counts of terrorism because of this. Because not only because there were citizens that were trying to get Cobb to stop with this, and Cobb was very vocal about really taking somebody out if he had to.
Very, very vocal. And he was, with an automatic weapon in his hand, threatening a citizen that was trying to, go back into your house. It's, we live here. You can't walk around with a semi-automatic weapon. Which makes sense. You can't walk around town. It's not the frickin' Old West.
No. And during his incarceration, that's when the town folks burned one of his...
The mayor of the town started the damn fire.
Yes, and first they were going to tear it down with a bulldozer. It was in the wintertime.
Yeah, this town is so small that the mayor's not elected. It's passed down.
Yes, grandfathered in. He was grandfathered in. And so he tries to tear it down with a bulldozer. Doesn't work because it's in the wintertime, so they just put a bunch of gasoline on it, let it match, and walk away.
Yep.
And then the National Socialist Movement said, "Well, we were glad they tore that building down because we were going to build one up anyway." Well,
we appreciate them clearing the land for us.
Yes. Now at this time of the filming, this film was made. Now the documentary was set in 2012. This documentary came out in 2015, and they said at the time of the filming, the land was still owned by them,
but nothing had been built.
Nothing had been built. And Cobb was on after. And here's something. Gomer Pyle. They both got arrested. Gomer Pyle, and I don't remember his name. It doesn't matter. He's an idiot. He took a plea agreement and he had to testify against Cobb.
And got 4 years probation.
4 years probation. Now here's the problem with
Walking around town threatening people with a semi-automatic rifle, and he gets 4 years probation.
He's talking about how he's no good to his wife and kids inside a jail cell. So he decides
putting food on the table.
Not
from
putting.
a jail cell.
Yeah, so he decides to, take a plea agreement. Now, under this plea agreement, he has to testify against Cobb. Yet he talks about how the government is corrupted, and how, what he's doing is they have the NAACP and they have the Jewish movement, and yet those aren't groups. They don't handle their issues violently. This group handles it with violence.
Now Gomer, we don't give a shit what his real name is because he's a pile of shit. Gomer is a former. He's a disabled veteran.
He served in Afghanistan.
Yeah, so he's a disabled veteran. But he's still cashing those checks he's getting from the corrupt government.
Yeah. I like how you still can cash those checks, even though you think the government's corrupted.
These
that's
groups
classic.
are so hypocritical.
Oh gosh, yes. And he says he has to testify against Cobb. Yet he was standing. Oh, I believe in Cobb, and Cobb's this and that. And yet you're going to testify, just to save your own ass. All right.
What gets me
you
is
sold him out.
That Cobb guy. He's still in jail. He cleans himself up. Totally different. It looks semi-normal once he shaves the beard and cuts the hair. What they end up giving him?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years suspension, and he can no longer have any firearms for the rest of his life.
That's right.
He can no longer carry any firearms for the rest of his life. Now, I don't know if in those 4 years, because it's now been up to 2016. I don't know if he was still in North Dakota.
They didn't say.
They didn't say where he was. Probably for his safety.
More than likely, yeah. After this comes out, it makes him look like the biggest. Because I'm looking for photos of this cat, I came across a few that he had posted with like a race trader or mixed race couples, and giving their addresses, pictures of their homes, pictures of their children, their children's names, their parents' names, friends' names, all sorts of just information, and putting it on the internet in basic hopes that somebody else will take care of the situation for him.
And
because he's such a pussy.
And by the way, Craig Cobb is part African.
Oh, that's right, 14%.
14%.
I don't remember what the TV show was, but he went on that TV show.
He went on that TV show.
African American Cobb. And then they get into his face and start laughing at him because he ends up taking a DNA test.
Because the group that was questioning his real heritage, I think it was the help me out, Kelly. It starts with the Aryan.
Oh, the Aryan. You
have to be, they questioned if he was completely 100%.
Was it the Aryan National? No. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
The Aryan people thought he wasn't 100% that, so we took a DNA test, and they found out he was 14%
black.
Yeah, 40% African American. So very. Now, we do if you have the chance, it's on Netflix for all the people who have Netflix.
Oh yeah.
It is a very powerful documentary.
It really shows you how.
It opens and
you
see both sides of the story. You just don't get one side; you get both sides, so it's very informative. We do a movie. We do a rating system here at Movie Obscura. Kelly, what are we going to do this one on?
I didn't give it any thought.
I would like to do burnt down white supremacist buildings.
Okay, burnt down white supremacist buildings
by the town people.
By the town people.
Kelly, what would you? How many burnt buildings would you give this?
I'd give this 4 burnt buildings. 4 burnt white supremacist buildings.
I thought
I really found it to be very powerful, kind of almost scary in the sense that, yeah, you know, I live such a sheltered life here. There are people like that, and they're all over the place. Middle America, in the middle of fucking nowhere.
And this,
they can just pop up.
And this film really showed just how in the Midwest, it's not just East Coast, it's not West Coast, it's even in, you know, the old good old. I mean, the Aryan movement, their headquarters is in Detroit, Michigan.
Right.
I mean, so that's Midwest. So, but a town like Leith, who had never seen anything like this,
right,
come at the forefront of all these news corporates. Yes, they get away. Said to get away from all.
And, the dad.
And they become this. They become the forefront of all these newscasters about, you know, this Craig Cobb coming in there and trying to take it over. Kelly, I'm also going to give this 4 burnt white supremacist buildings. Because it was powerful, and it was kind of a thriller because you didn't know exactly what was going to happen.
And that's because they shot both sides,
and it's all really raw footage. None of this was edited. They showed it in its entirety, unedited, uncensored. So I really got it, and yes, it kind of hit close to home,
right?
Where we broadcast, close to where we're at.
Yeah, you know, I mean, what, 4 hours?
If that.
If that, yeah.
So I do recommend this, and hopefully, you know, like our mothership, IMDb said that they hopefully this gets widely distributed, so it does give a look, and a lot of people can see. It says, I hope that Welcome to Leith gets widely distributed, so then many more people can enjoy this powerful film. I would have to agree with that.
I agree with that too. I think the more people know about the people like this that are out there, the more people will take up a stand against them and not allow them to bully their ways in, because that's all they really have. These white supremacists, they're just bullies.
Yeah,
and it doesn't even matter at some points if you're white or if you're a minority. They'll go at you either way.
Yeah, they didn't.
Unless you're a gang.
Yeah, you know.
I want you to bring that up. That was a good point.
You know, these whites, the white supremacist groups, they go after these innocent, law-abiding minorities, people that are upholding the law. They're, you know, going through life. They're supporting their families, and those are the white supremacists they target. However, there's a lot of gangs. You got MI13. You've got the Bloods. You got the Crips, who are not only in the drug trafficking group.
They're also the violent ones.
They're violent groups. How come they don't go after those groups? You know why? Because they would get their asses kicked.
Use the proper terminology. They get a cap in their way.
They would prey on innocent because they know that if they would go after gangs, violent gangs,
there'd be pushback.
They would,
and they wouldn't be able to take it.
No, they wouldn't.
So I found it very moving, very powerful, and very kind of awakening.
Yes, of actually was going on, and you know, underneath our eyes, didn't even know this was happening.
Right.
Moving on to a more powerful, I'm gonna say since we're on the heels of a powerful documentary.
Right.
Now we're going to a powerful movie in the term of superheroes.
Yes.
We last week
spoiler-free review of
Captain America: Civil War. Now, Kelly, you have the
oh yes,
how much it grossed at the box office.
Okay, in its first week, $179.1 million this movie grossed. That it comes up with, say, the Jungle Book, the new Jungle Book. That only grossed 287 in 4 weeks.
Yeah,
this topped the Batman and Superman movie.
Yeah, I think this is going to break a lot of records.
Yes. Once again, another Marvel movie that is going to bust.
And I'm telling you now, as we had said earlier in fact last week, DC is going to have to kick it up with Suicide Squad and Justice League if they are going to compete with Marvel.
Work.
Yeah, because this movie had the Avengers, not just Captain America, but it had the entire Avengers group in this film.
I just got to stop you there.
All right.
That's why I think this movie shouldn't have been a standalone Captain America movie. It had to have a different title. They couldn't have slapped Captain America Civil War. It needed to be Avengers Civil War because it wasn't just the Captain. It was everyone and new characters.
New characters that were not in the previous ones. Now, some of these characters they had their own films, and we knew they were going to come in
Right.
by watching the other films. But they had a brand new character in there, and he is an original Avengers. I'm glad they brought him in. I won't say who it is. I will leave it up to the fans. Oh, there he is right there on the screen. Yep, you know. You've seen the previews. You know who it is. And, of course, they had a non-Avenger, but a very iconic Marvel character. Kelly, judging by what you've seen of this iconic character, did you like how he was written in this script?
No.
I did not like. It seemed like he was just. I know why they brought him in, okay? Because at the time, Sony owned the rights to this character, and then Fox took it over, and then Marvel got it back when they with Disney.
Yeah.
Okay, so they brought him back, and they said he will return at the very end of the script. Did you see? You were at the very end of the script.
No, I completely forgot.
Okay, well, there. If you have the chance, go ahead and watch that. At the very end, they bring his little scene up.
Yeah.
And at the end, it says this person will return. So obviously, his movies are coming back out. But I don't like how if this is the way they are going to portray him in these next upcoming movies. I don't know if I'm going to be able to swallow that.
No, maybe
No.
he won't get that big of a role. He won't have to be in it as much.
It will be him.
Don't watch it.
I
I know.
I don't like how
That's
they-
the thing about the Marvel movies. You may not like parts of it, just like I don't like parts of it. But you're not going to watch it.
know because it's Marvel. But I just don't. I mean, and let me say this: they did not disappoint with the fight scene. Like the Superman Batman.
Any of the fight scenes, any of them.
Yeah, that was a disappointing fight scene with Superman and Batman. It was great, but then there was this
I hated
one.
the Batman suit.
Yeah,
I hated that
yeah,
suit. The
that-
suit sucked.
Yeah, this fight here they had. It was a full blown-fledged grudge match,
Right,
and it
right.
just kept going. That was excellent. They did a very good job on that.
Winter Soldier was badass.
Winter Soldier is a badass. Now, for me, I'm a Tony Stark fan.
Well, you gotta be.
I'm a Tony Stark fan. I was hoping he'd kick a little more ass than he.
Let's reach out and grab that thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that pissed me off.
Woo! I love this movie.
Yes,
I guess I do. Yeah. Yeah. I was so focused on the fact that they were, this isn't a goddamn Captain America movie. This is a fucking Avengers movie.
It is an Avengers movie. Now, I want to get into this further in future episodes when a lot more people get a chance to see it, because there is something that was said that really threw me for a loop, and it was a letter to Tony from that.
Oh,
but then,
yeah.
But the person did not follow the letter in the very end. So I don't know. I want to talk more about that in the upcoming episodes. Now, I know now for our movie obscure audience, I know that we told you that we were probably going to do Midnight Meat Train and Human Centipede 3, but we really wanted to bring out Welcome to Leith. We really wanted to get that one out because we just wanted to. We're trying to switch in gears here, and this is our very first documentary that we did. So that's why we did that. We are still going to do the long-awaited,
very long-awaited
Midnight Meat Train, and also we did bring up Human Centipede 3.
Right.
So that is what we are going to focus on next. Now, Kelly, if you want, would you like to rate Civil War as a kind of like a double?
I give it 4.5 cap shields.
Cap shields.
Yeah.
Okay, cap shields. Okay, well, I would have given this 5. I would have.
Except for...
But Iron Man did not he got his butt kicked quite a bit. So
Quite a bit.
So
Jesus.
I wanted him to kick the ass. If they would have done that, it would have been an instant classic again.
But it was a Captain America movie.
And I think that's why.
Yeah. When Iron Man 4 comes out, he'll kick everyone else's ass.
Yes, unfortunately, there will be no Iron Man 4.
There'll be an Iron Man 4.
Well,
I know, I've looked at
Robert Downey Jr. has said there will be no Iron Man 4, and David Letterman goes, why? You can't make, Marvel doesn't want to make another $350 million?
Yeah.
Yes, there will be, the public's saying to demand an Iron Man 4.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And there will be an Avengers 3 as well. And, so that is, and
didn't we just watch Avengers 3?
You're kind of, sort of, yeah.
I still can't believe it put out. Oh.
Now, also, upcoming, we had talked about this off film real quick. We are going to review Suicide Squad. We are going to go on location.
On location?
To watch this, and then we are going to do a review on it.
Directly after.
And
that'll be kind of one of our specials.
That will probably be our next special.
We will try our damnedest not to spoil anything, but hey, it's me, no promises.
That's right. And we're going to review that because right on the heels of Civil War, DC is going to have to start kicking it up a notch if they are going to want to compete with Marvel.
I'm really hoping that Suicide Squad lives up to expectations.
Well, if it's anything like the previews, it probably will.
Right. All right. Oh, hey, guess what? Check us out, Movie Obscura at Twitter, Facebook, and at Gmail.
Send your comments, questions,
concerns.
Movies that you want us to see. If there's some gems you got out there that didn't quite get the notoriety that it deserves.
Oh yeah, movie suggestions.
Hit us up. We'll be more than happy to review them for you. And also, if you hit us up on the Twitter page or our Facebook page, which is being updated every week now, like us on Facebook and give us your comments there, and we'd be more than happy to read them on the air. Get your name up there on the screen, and you may just after watch this, you might get a few more followers.
All right.
If the comments are good.
Yeah.
Negative. We'll read them as well.
We'll put them all up. All right. Well, Adrian.
I'm
done.
Are you done?
Are you done?
I'm done.
I don't remember how we ended the show.
For Movie Obscura, I'm Bucky Quattro.
Oh God. Brought back Bucky Quattro. And I'm Kelly.
Oh, and by the way, he did rehire me. He fired me at the very end. I'm back, and I hopefully
He made it.
And
we'll see if he keeps doing this Bucky Quattro shit. I don't know. We out.